For most of my life, I thought that being high functioning was a strength, and it was, until I realized it was also a shield. Hey, I'm Desiree, and I talk about healing and softness and what it looks like to finally put the cape down as a recovering oldest daughter. This video is the first of a series I'm calling Soft Life Chats, which is a space where we learn to stop performing strength and start practicing softness instead. So if that sounds like your vibe, I hope you stick around. I have my iPad here in front of me with my notes, so if I glance down from time to time, that's what I'm looking at. So this topic started with a question I asked on Instagram and TikTok. Oldest daughter to oldest daughter, what's a high functioning habit you used to flex that now you're low-key recovering from? And when I tell you, the comments came rolling in. So I wanted to bring the conversation here and share a few of my own with you. The first one, always finding a silver lining. And for me, this used to sound like optimism, but I'm learning that it was really emotional avoidance dressed up as perspective. I thought that I was being helpful, I was keeping everyone lifted and encouraged, and even myself lifted and encouraged by having the most positive outlook and always finding the positive or looking for the positive in every situation. And don't get me wrong, I think that there is so much value in perspective and gratitude, in like really zooming out and taking inventory of a situation versus all that you have working in your favor. Being able to live from a place of being empowered and feeling like you have agency. But I also feel like, for me, as I reflect, I think a lot of the optimism was a way to avoid feeling things very deeply. And now, through therapy and journaling and reflection and much conversation with myself, I'm learning that not everything needs a bright side to be valid. I'm learning to sit with my own feelings about things. I'm learning to allow myself to sit with the full story and the full picture, which a lot of times, with a lot of things in life, it just sucks. God is good and life is great. There's so much beauty to appreciate, but there's also so much space to like sit in the fact that a situation was difficult, or like you didn't get what you felt like you needed, or to just be sad for other versions of yourself. That's all okay. Not gonna cry on the first one. Let's keep going. The second one was that I know how to keep it together. In chaos, in conflict, in crisis, my instinct was always to stay calm. And as a matter of fact, I remember using this as a selling point about myself in interviews and just in general conversations with people. Like I really flexed this about myself, that I could be calm in almost any situation you put me in. And even if I am incredibly rattled or stressed or overwhelmed on the inside, that I can appear to the outside world that I am okay. And I remember bragging about this fact about myself. And don't get me wrong, it served me. It definitely served me in my career and in my work, and it served me a lot throughout my life. But I know now that that calmness, it came from never feeling safe to fall apart. I'm realizing that keeping it together came at the cost of being real. I prided myself on being the one who could solve anything. If I don't know the answer, I can find the answer. I can find the person who has the answer. I can fix it, or if I don't know how to fix it, I can figure out who can fix it for us. That was me to a T. And this is something that I'm still unlearning and sort of rewiring my brain around. Because yes, I'm resourceful, but I am not everyone's resource. And I have definitely allowed myself to be that, to be the person who could figure it out for anyone. And as much as I love to give in that way, I wasn't allowing room or space for other people to give to me or to figure it out for themselves. But I think I really found my identity, my sense of value and worth in my usefulness. And that is the thing that I'm still definitely unpacking. And I'm getting really comfortable with saying, like, I actually don't know how to do that, or I really don't know the answer to that, and letting that be okay versus feeling like I have to figure it out on everyone's behalf, you know? I used to take so much pride in being low maintenance and being easygoing and not needing much. And I have almost completely taken that out of my vocabulary. I think I'm a chill girl. I think I like to sometimes go with the flow. I remember even at the very beginning of my relationship with David, I used to talk so much about being like a really low maintenance girl. Like, I do not ask for a lot. I'm kind of happy with everything. I'm easy breezy, to quote my mom. Like, I like to go with the flow. And while I do think my temperament, my personality, that I am pretty chill, like, I really love the simple small things, I've learned to change some of my language around being low maintenance, or I don't need much, or I don't require a lot, because what I find was, one, that was what I was allowing in my relationships, and also I felt like I was telling myself that I didn't need that much, and so I was giving myself the scraps of my attention, of my effort, of my time. I was spending all my energy and the best parts of myself on other people and other things, not on my own well-being. Now I'm learning that expressing a need doesn't make me a burden. It makes me a person. It makes me a person. And I used to wear all of these like badges of honor, but they weren't freedom. They were protection. They were armor. They were walls. They were things that I'm now having to unlearn and recover from. But I don't judge any other version of myself. I don't judge younger me, because she kept me safe. She did the best she could with the information that she had. And she did, honestly, a hell of a job. But I'm not living for safety or survival anymore. I'm learning to live from a place of softness. If you're in the process of unlearning your high functioning habits, I would love to know, what's one thing you used to take pride in that you're starting to see differently now? Thanks so much for being here for this Soft Life chat. If it resonated, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share with someone who you think would also enjoy. And I'll talk to you really soon. Love you. Later.